That is beautiful.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. We're from up around Reading, PA,
Okay.
and we've seen the flyer that we got from the car show, and thought, want to go to different shows, try something different, see different cars. So here we are.
Well, thank you. I'm glad
And
you
then
guys
we get to
came out
meet
today.
lovely people like you. Life is good.
Life is definitely good.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Absolutely.
How to fight this disease of addiction. And then you also get some information about parent support, which is key. Lots of times when we're dealing with a loved one in addiction, we forget about us, the parents. We forget about the family. And it's a disease that's really a family disease. So parent support groups really reach out to parents and allows them an environment where they can sit without shame, without guilt, without judgment. Lots of times we can't talk to our neighbor, we can't talk to our coworker, we can't talk to our own family members because this disease sometimes is just debilitating. We're afraid we're going to judge, we're going to fail as a parent. And what this is a drug. It's a brain disease. It's a disease that just takes over every desire to want to do what you know is right. And so we help parents. We help parents in their recovery so that they can deal with the disease and also look inward to see what they can do to better improve upon themselves. Because you didn't cause it, you can't control it, you can't cure it. So through the parent support groups, we try and give parents the opportunity to be with their peers without judgment. And we find out that it's very helpful in terms of finding resources. Your story might be, you think, unique, special, different. We're all in the same boat when it comes to it having a long-term addiction. So it's a great place to pick up resources and information. I encourage you to stop by. We have a list of parent-based supported parent support groups. At the table out there, please find me or Julie from Karen, and we'll give you a list of, if not for you, maybe you have a loved one, or maybe you've kind of been gingerly tiptoeing around that discussion with a family member or a friend. Share the list with them. Maybe we could save a life. We have an opportunity to save lives. This is not something that we keep in the closet anymore. You're finding more and more parents outwardly talking about this disease. Why? Because, oh God, I thought I was the only one. I didn't know that. I have neighbors who just talk to each other very socially, but they both have 30-something-year-old sons in addiction, heroin addiction. They didn't know that until we started talking about it. And now they're in a better place. So there's a lot of people here that want to offer help and support and take advantage of it. So I'm going to turn it over to Devin so he can,
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming out. And thanks, Louise, and thanks, Andy, for putting this together.
I want to thank people that put this event together, and I do want to just extend my feelings to anyone who's lost someone. It's amazing to come out of that and try to do some advocacy and help other families. So that's really an amazing strength. You're wonderful people. I also want to say that if you have that, some of this may be painful to hear, so just to be prepared for that. And do you mind if I ask, when you're seeing overdoses in this area, is it mostly pills or is it also heroin and other? Heroin. Right. What we're seeing really change over the last 5 years around the state and around the country is an increase in people not starting out with injecting opiates, but moving to injecting opiates from painkillers and other opiates. And we're really seeing that hit the young people. Every drug treatment program I talk to in Philadelphia is seeing a huge increase in young people. And most of those young people don't come from the city. Many of them do, but not the majority. I don't need to tell you this, but that the other huge rise in overdoses that we're seeing around the country are with young people, and that's certainly the case in Pennsylvania, it's a case in Philadelphia. In 2014, in Philadelphia, we saw an extra 220 overdoses to opiates. And again, the biggest increase is in young people and young people coming from the suburbs.
One of the biggest ways that we can prevent heroin and different types of abuses in our local where we operate is stopping it from the source, and that starts with vehicle stops. And normally when we do a vehicle stop and myself and Cooper are called, whatever agency has the car stopped, we'll do a search on it, and if we get an indication, normally it leads to a criminal arrest. But then they usually flip and let us go for the bigger fish. So it starts small. It affects every race, every religion. Doesn't matter what your income level is. It's epidemic proportion. So it takes officers like Cooper here to put a stop to it.
So, snorted my first bag of heroin, and I'd say about 4 or 5 months later, I was injecting it, and I was full-blown addict. Lost total control of my life and could not stop. And it ran me. It ran me. I went to high school with Kacie too. She was actually in my class. We were never really friends. Never really talked, but I have memories in my head of just like seeing her in the hallways of her class. And my heart goes out to all the families that lost their children. It's very sad, but I mean the beauty is that they don't have to suffer no more, you know, and there is hope, and there's hope for me and for the people who are still alive going through this.
If you see drug activity going on in your community, write a letter to your police chief. Write a letter to the DA. Tell them where it's happening. Don't put a return address on it. I don't need it. Because every letter that's been sent to our DA, Tom Hogan, ends up on my desk and ends up in the hands of detectives to follow up on. It can be the difference for me in approving a search warrant because I have a tip from someone in the community, or not approving a search warrant because that tip isn't substantiated. It's not always going to solve the problem, but it does help. It's not going to fix itself right away, but it may be the beginning of an investigation that helps us fix something 6 months down the road. And when you do see that investigation in your area do something positive, write a letter. Everyone says, oh great, this bust happened in my community and I'm very happy about it. But that information doesn't get back to those police chiefs. It doesn't get back to the local council members. They take it for granted. And we in law enforcement need, especially now, especially with all the negative press, need all the help and all the positivity that we can get. So, thank you guys for your time. I'll be hanging around here if you guys have more questions, if you want to talk some more about it. But thank you.
Support groups, agencies, families, police, the Cars For Kacie show team, and all the participants, vendors, and especially to Tom Oates for allowing us to hold the second annual Cars For Kacie show at his dealership. Again, my name is Andy Rumford and I am Casey's father. Today's show as well is about support and hope love for ourselves and others, and paying forward what we have learned. As we know, addiction is a disease. It's not a moral failing of the parents or the children. Positive change is being enacted nationwide. We can see it. Our lives begin to end the day we all become silent about things that matter. And saving lives, my friend, that matters. Thanks so much to Prevention Point Philadelphia for supplying the Narcan training and the kits. Over 300 lives in Pennsylvania alone so far this year have been saved by this drug. So today, so many beautiful cars were here. What a wonderful passion we all have for our hobby. So today, our best of show car goes to Glenn Goldberg and his 36 Mercedes. Glenn? Wow. It's $185 to the winner.
Thank you.
This is my sister-in-law, Karen. This was Casey's aunt. And she's going to pull the 50-50 today. 079528.
Okay. 9528, we have a winner.
And Martin, tell them how much.
That's it, $185.
Yay!
So, oh, well, thank you so much. It's being donated back to the cause. Thank you, folks. Most appreciated. Drive home safe.